The Arizona Cardinals continue to add pieces to this 2025 roster, signing inside linebacker J.J. Russell, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Today, we're going to be diving into exactly who he is and what can he bring to the Arizona Cardinals defense. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we're covering the Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. But ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be diving into the latest acquisition for the Arizona Cardinals, adding linebacker J.J. Russell, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And this is actually a pretty fascinating signing here for the Cardinals. Now, I'm going to be real. This is a much more exciting signing than the last signing that the Cardinals ended up bringing in, which is a tight end, which didn't really feel like he really had much of a chance to make it onto this roster. But adding an inside linebacker, which is probably going to be the most unknown core within this Arizona Cardinals defense, is pretty fascinating because we're talking about a potential starter here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now coming to the Arizona Cardinals. I think he might have a real shot to potentially become a starter or fight for a starting position. Now, obviously, it's going to really depend if he makes a 53-man roster, but definitely a very fascinating move here by the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I want to go ahead and just shout out here Aaron Wilson here on X/Twitter. He ended up bringing this to my attention that the Arizona Cardinals obviously signed J.J. Russell, but also released Milo Eifler. So for what it's worth, addition by subtraction, adding a guy in J.J. Russell that's got the experience in playoffs and also the ability to play the inside linebacker. It's almost kind of a recipe for success here for the Arizona Cardinals if he can make the roster. Now, let's go and dive right into exactly who he is. And then I did reach out over to my fellow content creator as well that covers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in terms of what he feels about J.J. Russell. So we'll be diving into those comments a little later on. But let's talk about J.J. Russell here in a nutshell and what he could potentially bring to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, he is a undrafted free agent out of the, well, I believe it was a 2022 NFL draft. So he's got 3 years of experience under his belt, and he's only been with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 26 years old, 6'1", 225. When you're looking at the stats, it really doesn't kind of jump out to you saying things like, wow, we got a gem, we got a steal here for the Arizona Cardinals defense. But like I mentioned before, if you're looking at the depth chart for the Arizona Cardinals, there's a lot of unknown when it comes down to that inside linebacking core. Now, as of right now, I really do believe that the number 1 and 2 guys are going to be Akeem Davis-Gaither as well as Mack Wilson Sr. But the Arizona Cardinals did also add Cody Simon and also Michael Walker as well, former Atlanta Falcons. So there is a lot of kind of unknown within this position, but we can very well see maybe J.J. Russell make an opportunity for himself to maybe make it in this 53. Maybe the Cardinals do carry 4 inside linebackers because of a lot of unknown, and we don't really know what Akeem Davis-Gaither can really provide to us. We know what Mack Wilson Sr. could provide to us, but he's that weak inside linebacker. Is Akeem Davis-Gaither going to be that guy, that missing piece in the middle of the defense? As of right now, there's just a lot of unknown with that position, right? So continue to talk about J.J. Russell, and I want to obviously, talk about what the comments were for my fellow content creator. I ended up asking him, what can you tell me about J.J. Russell? And he ended up telling me this. He said he had 33 tackles last year, was a bit of a spot starter, actually got some reps over KJ Britt. Now, if you look at their depth chart, KJ Britt was actually going to be their second guy, right? Or their, 1-2 inside linebackers for that defense. So he did get some opportunities to steal some playing time from him. And he says he personally thinks he's a very solid linebacker 4 or linebacker 3. Decent run defender, but not the best at pass coverage, which at the end of the day, this almost kind of feels like Kazir White, because let's be real. In the last year of Kazir White, he wasn't the best pass coverage guy, but what I really liked about Kazir White was obviously the physicality and the veteranness and what he brought, the knowledge of this playbook, right? He came from the Nick Rallis/Jonathan Gannon defense from Philly. Cardinals brought him here, and I thought he did a pretty darn good job, but I get the coverage skills weren't there when it comes down to Kazir White. But still, right, this can be a very, very interesting addition here for the Arizona Cardinals, adding J.J. Russell, inside linebacker. Now, we are also going to be diving into the exact breakdown here per the football guys here on their website to really figure out where he kind of started shining and had a little bit more of playing time over KJ Britt, right? So let's go ahead and look at his playing time. Let me go ahead and move him up here. There we go. Here we go. We got KJ Britt, we got Levante David, and then you got JJ Russell right there. But you can definitely tell by week 15, actually maybe even week 13, he started to kind of take a big jump, and you're starting to see some games where he did, have more playing time over KJ Britt. Now, KJ Britt did come back here in week 17, 36% to JJ Russell's 60%. And it kind of seemed that that was the trend that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ended up continuing to follow through with, right? So, we're talking about a guy that's got the experience of a playoff game. We're talking about a guy that might be that physicality guy that's gonna be able to stop the run, shoot the gaps type of guy. And we probably need that, especially with not going to be adding Kazir White, or at least that's the trend that we're kind of starting to follow right now. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be signing Kazir White, and I'm really curious to figure out like if it's more of a value issue, or maybe Kazir might not want to come back because of maybe there was a contract extended. I don't know. I don't want to get into what ifs, but it's very unfortunate that Kazir White isn't coming back. But I'm actually kind of curious to figure out what JJ Russell can do for the Arizona Cardinals defense. Now, like I said before, this might be a real opportunity, especially adding an inside linebacker of a guy that can potentially make his, I guess, staple point in his Arizona Cardinals defense. We're talking about a guy that's going to have to compete with probably Owen Papu, Cody Simon, Michael Walker, right? And that doesn't really seem like, I'm not going to say much competition, but he's got the experience under his belt. Now, Cody Simon can potentially be a guy for the Arizona Cardinals in the future, but he might not get a lot of playing time unless he's got an absolute crazy training camp, right? And we'll have to kind of wait and see how that shakes out. At the end of the day, we might have to take a really good look here at what JJ Russell can do for the Arizona Cardinals defense. But what is your overall thoughts and opinions about this addition for the Arizona Cardinals defense? Let me know in the comments below. Are you impressed, or do you think this is going to be another depth guy that could potentially be a special teamer for the Arizona Cardinals? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.